Hi, my name is Ryan Lane, and welcome to my review channel. So for today's movie, I will be reviewing Extraction 2, directed by Sam Hargrave and starring Chris Hemsworth. So approximately 9 months have passed since the events of the original film, and so Tyler Rake, having taken a bullet to the neck, has entered early retirement. This all changes when Tyler Rake encounters Alcott, played by Idris Elba, a wisecracking secret agent of sorts. The film never exactly explains who he is, offers him the opportunity to go and rescue his in laws from a Georgia prison. Tyler Rake agrees, and so one training montage later that I will admit doesn't quite live up to the legendarily long training montage of Rocky IV. Tyler Rake is back in on the action with some familiar friends, Nick and Yaz, played by played by Golshivis Farani and Adam Besa, respectively. So, performance-wise, this film is reasonably solid. Farani and Besa make the most of their upgraded screen time, and Hemsworth pulls his weight, in some cases quite literally, as Tyler Rake in both the action sequences and in the emotional moments. He's good there. Plus, Idris Elba steals the show with his very limited screen time as a wisecracking agent. He makes a very funny remark regarding the sound of music, which got a pretty solid chuckle out of me. However, weighing things down performance-wise are Sandro and Zarub, played by Paradis and Gorachiani, respectively. Paradisi, he isn't given much material to work with as Sandro, a teenager torn between loyalty to his mother and loyalty to his uncle. And Gorachini fails to compel as Zurab, a fanatical gang leader out for vengeance. So, writing-wise, this film is a definite downgrade from the original, unfortunately. I mean, while the original could hardly... While this film can be hardly qualified as mindless action, the plot beats in this movie are much less interesting than the plot beats of the original. The film also tries to replicate, maybe not exactly replicate, but it tries to continue on the surrogate father-son dynamic of the original, but this time with Rake and his nephew Sandro. But the less interesting results. This little dynamic, it's predictable, and aside from, a few decent lines here and there, it doesn't compel as much as it should. Plus, the villain Zarub, while he does seem poised to be at the very least, entertaining villain to watch, he just ends up being yet another cliched, boring villain with a bloodlust for vengeance. So the action scenes are shot well enough at times, and they do take advantage of the varied locations, ranging from a Georgia prison to a high-rise building in Austria. It can be shot pretty well. And in between the thousands and thousands of bullets that are fired by our characters, the film does manage to find some time to squeeze in a few creative, unique, and at time darkly comedic kills. So again, the film does well enough there. It's when the film does yet another hyper-extended, quote-unquote, one-shot sequence that the action starts to take a bit of a dive in quality. So, like the previous film, the one-take sequence starts off decently enough. The fluid camera movement helps lend a sense of urgency to the matters and really makes you think to yourself, okay, these guys have got to move, and they have got to move fast. But then the sequence just keeps going and going and going, and by the end, I was just begging for the film to make a traditional cut. Just to relieve me of my boredom. Not helping matters is the fact that this sequence culminates in a train sequence that, how shall I put this, clearly could have used some more time developing the CGI, because It's rough. It's not the worst CGI I've seen, but it sticks out like a sore thumb compared to the rest of the visual effects in the movie. I mean, I will say this, the sequence does improve upon the original by having more varied locations for our characters to run through for over 10 minutes. So the film is does have an improvement there, fortunately. Though it repeats its predecessor's formula to diminishing marginal returns, Extraction 2 thankfully still benefits from Chris Hemsworth's lead performance and some creative action scenes. So, with all that in mind, I will be giving Extraction 2 3 out of 5 stars. Anyway, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. If you like this review and would like to see more like it, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment down below. And for today's comment section prompt of the day, what is your favorite Chris Hemsworth movie and why?